probably the biggest advice that I was given was to, like, if I'm trying to draw someone and I'm trying to make that person's face look like the person. He said the first thing you have to do is to draw what you actually see. You know, a lot of the times we draw what we think. Let's say the eye, right? So especially when you've been creative and you used to draw your own characters and you come up with your own characters and stuff, you kind of have an idea of what an eye is supposed to look like. So a lot of your drawings probably look the same. The eyes look the same. The nose probably look the same. Maybe you have a couple of different noses you would use, but it's not that person's nose. So if you're not careful, you will end up drawing a default, right? And you're like, why does this not look like the person? It's because the eyes is not that person's eyes. The eyes you're drawing is a default that you learned to draw over the years. So that was Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for taking a few seconds to take a look at this little introduction video to introduce myself. I'm Wayne. I am a aspiring artist. I I run a business in Monroe, North Carolina, and what I actually run a vacuum service center, supply store, janitorial supplies, etc. And so I have a YouTube channel and website for my regular day business, MonroeVacuums.com. And also you can find me on YouTube with different tips and hints of how to fix machines and things like that. And so the first year of the business, I was trying to, get the name out. So that first year or so was fairly quiet. And all of a sudden, I started drawing again. I said, you know what, let me use this time wisely and start drawing again. And I did the first picture. Was a portrait of my niece, and I said, man, I would like to do more of this. I drew as a kid, and some of you can relate. Like you were an artist. Everyone always knew you as the kid, the person that can draw. Go to Mike. Go to Susie. She'll make that poster for you. And you kind of put it to the back burner, and you got your career started, and maybe you were the guy that can think creatively on the job or something. It just never left you, if you get what I'm saying. And but the fear of not of pursuing your talent, your passion, or whatever. At least for me, I think in my early times, I just didn't think that the opportunities were available. There are a lot of opportunities today that you can apply your skills, whatever creative field you're in, or you can make your own lane in today's, in the way it is today. You can create your own lane where you can show off those skills, or even if you just want to share it with the world, but I'm here to tell you that, go for it. If it's one of those things where when you wake up and you think about it, you can spend time doing it without losing, without feeling like you're wasting time. Like you can lose yourself in it, and you can kind of ride it out. You'll do it for a week straight, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is. You can lose yourself in it, because a lot of us are seeking that space. So some people, they'll go mountain climbing, they'll surf. People, we find our way to get into that space. Okay, for some people it's reading a book. For some of us it's drawing, painting, writing, singing, whatever it is. So if that thing is gnawing at you, not saying to quit your job and pursue that, even though if you did your numbers and you kind of went through your whole planning process, you say, you know what, this is a calculated risk, then go for it. Don't let anyone stop you. But we have enough time, if you really think about it, throughout the week and the year to at least, invest some of that time into that thing that takes you to that space. You know what I'm saying? So this channel pretty much is this is me sharing with you guys, just talking, and I'm getting feedback. I mean, for example, if you wanted tips and tricks of how to keep your cleaners, you can visit my other site, Monroe Vacuums. But for those of you who if you've ever been at that site, you'll notice that I do things, and in the background is always like a portrait that I've done. Okay, and it's there. I've just never left that side of me. It's just that I had this channel for a couple of years. I just put a few pictures up. I really didn't pay attention to it. And then I hit a milestone birthday this year, and everything kind of flooded back in. Like, you know what? Come on, man. Go for it. Do your thing. And so if any one of you are in that situation and can relate, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. I'll find time to continue to post videos up, whether it's a few tips that I learned along the way. Maybe it's just a project I'm working on, and it might just inspire you on your project, because I do that. I am also a fan of YouTube itself and the channels that are on there. And, and I know you have a million different things to watch that can either just be brain-numbing, time-consuming stuff, or it could be funny, it could be educational, or you can just find inspiration. Whatever this serves for you, let it be. I'm there, and I'm happy just the fact that you took a few minutes to say hi. Okay, so again, I'm Wayne again, and hey, this is a deck. I'm also on Instagram, so lately I've just been kind of putting some of my work up there, and this is something I'm working on now. It's cool. Actually, I used to, when I started drawing, I started young. I did. I started fairly young, but my cousin, and Dean, if you're out there, what's up, bro? My cousin gave me my first set of comic books. Okay, and he knew that I liked to draw, and he inspired me to kind of stretch it. So I used to draw comics. I would get a comic book, and I'd look at the guys, some of the artists, and I just did a picture of Stan Lee when he passed away, and I was like, man, because I remember reading Stan Lee, Stan Lee and Stan's box and all that stuff, and I was like, man, Stan Lee, I have no idea how I was inspired through reading a lot of those comic books to continue drawing, and but yeah, that's when it started. But when people ask me to draw a picture of them, and I'm guarantee you, some of you probably understand this. People would ask me to draw a picture of them. Hey, can you draw me, Wayne? And I was always a little reluctant, very reluctant actually, because I knew how to draw Batman, Superman, Hulk, and stuff like that, right? But to get that person's face, all those features, that was, a little bit more difficult. And so when I drew a picture of my niece, and I said, it looks good. Maybe I can learn. And then I went online. I went on YouTube, and I saw an artist, and this young lady, oh my gosh, she is phenomenal. And if you're even interested in finding out, I'll leave her link to her page in the description below. But I saw like her photorealistic, drawing. I was like, oh my God, man. So I took a chance, something that I'm fairly introverted for years. I got into sales, which is a very out, expressive kind of a job. And so out of all the things that I got into, who would have thought, right? So it was kind of unlike me to reach out to someone that I don't know like that, unless it was at work. And she reached back and she said, hey, send me some of your pictures, and I'll take a look at them. I'll see, what you may need to do. And she walked me through some things, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, all right. So, probably the biggest advice that I was given was to, like, if I'm trying to draw someone and I'm trying to make that person's face look like the person, he said the first thing you have to do is to draw what you actually see. A lot of the times we draw what we think. Let's say the eye, right? So especially when you've been creative and you used to draw your own characters and you come up with your own characters and stuff, you kind of have an idea of what an eye is supposed to look like. So a lot of your drawings probably look the same. The eyes look the same. The nose probably look the same. Maybe you have a couple of different noses you would use, but it's not that person's nose. So if you're not careful, you will end up drawing a default, right? And you're like, why does this not look like the person? It's because the eyes is not that person's eyes. The eyes you're drawing is a default that you learned to draw over the years. So that was probably one of the best advice. He says, stop and look and really, really, really look at what you're drawing. If you want to draw that person's features and draw the person's features, draw what you see. Okay. And I guess if you're drawing from your imagination, you're drawing what you see. See that? But when you're drawing an actual picture from a reference photo, because you're creative and you've been drawing for a couple of years, you tend to, if you're not very, very disciplined in that particular part of your thinking, you will draw what you see up here still while you're looking at that reference photo. Okay, so that was I'll have more. I learned a whole lot over the years on little things, because I had a lot of challenges. I probably didn't have the confidence that I knew I can put pen and pencil to paper, right? But to tell someone or to teach someone to say this is the structure of how you go from A to Z, that for many, many years, that just wasn't there. I'll do it, but don't ask me to show you how to do it. So the moment I realized that everyone else is searching the way I am, everyone's searching, and everyone has something. There's an Egyptian quote that I sometimes read to my boys. And it was about not being arrogant with your knowledge. That even the person at the grindstone, or I forgot what they call it, but I forgot her name. It's like a maidservant or something of that sort. But at the grindstone can teach you something. So even if you're a prince, right? The person that is at the lower position can still teach you something. Okay, so I realized that everybody, regardless whether they're further in down the line in the creative process, or they're just starting, even if you're sharing your story about your start, there's something that you can teach someone that is further down the line, right? Because we're all searching. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the guys I was watching, the real honest and candid ones would tell me that, hey man, I'm still trying to get this thing down. I'm still, but they're teaching what they know, but they also let you know that, hey man, this part I'm still rough on it. So you take what you can from that person, and I'm guarantee you there's somebody else that have the filler to fill you in on the rest. So that's what gave me the confidence to say, let me share some of my insights with people, and who like it, and who don't, just move on. You know what I mean? It always baffled me when I see videos that the people put the thumbs down on a video. I always thought that, if you don't like it, just move on. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't like it, move on. The idea of doing a thumbs down, I guess, is human nature. It's like, why would you do that? Unless the person was promoting hate and you really want to let them know, But if someone's giving you advice or showing you a tip, and maybe the tip kind of gave you halfway information, you're like, dang, there's still part. that I'm missing, I'm gonna thumb down this guy's video. He gave you part of what you were looking for, dude. Anyway, that's a side note. But so I found that I enjoyed a lot of different guys online, and a lot of the comic artists and the guys who show you how they're drawing on the iPads, and then you have these guys who can just pick up a paintbrush, man, and just flow, so they're online. Find some of these people that inspire you. Hopefully I will be inspiration to somebody, because so many people have inspired me. So hang around for the journey, man. We'll learn some things together, and we'll find out something. Hopefully I can learn some stuff from you guys. I just started doing these skateboard decks here. I normally do portraits. And someone had asked me to do one years ago. Maybe I'll put the picture on the side or something while I'm talking to you. And then I said, man, I like this. I like this. I had skateboards when I was a kid, and I was like, man, this is cool. And then I started looking at some of the artists out there. I was like, wow, these guys are real creative. It's not regular art you would see on a deck. Most of the time it's like these worlds, man, like a dream world, where you have you'll have stairs going up, and you have I saw one the other day where, oh man, God, I wish I knew the name of these guys, their channel, but if you guys know who I'm talking about, just put it out there. They were sharing artwork, and they pass it on to the next artist. And I saw a guy, the tape guy, and that was the last one I saw. And he was doing I think he did a stair, and then he did a crow, and then he added a tape, and it looked like a tape, like a real tape. And I was like, oh man, I would have never thought of drawing a real tape, I was like, dude, that's skillful, man. That you could actually make it look like you could make someone want to peel it off, So I thought that was cool. I thought that was probably one of the coolest videos I've seen. That the painting went from artist to artist to artist, and they just kept adding their own thing to it, and to see what it looks like at the end. I thought that was like the coolest thing, man. So anyway, that's me just going off on a tangent. But I'll see you guys soon. Stay tuned, and hopefully on the next video I'll show you another project I'm working on. But so far, this one is almost done. I just really wanted to do this. This is a little butterfly on the side, and my little frog guy. I think this frog guy might show up in a lot of my pictures, even if he's on the side. Remember that cartoon where the guy, is it Wally? Something like that. And he's always in like the corner, So I think I may hold on to the little frog guy. My son gave me this idea. He told me to do this. But yeah, this is probably going to be up for sale for someone if they're interested. My website is Goldmine, gmartstudio.com, Goldmine Art Studio. And I may just put this up for sale. But for now, right now, this is my little project. I'm practicing on doing these. I want to do a lot more of these. Okay. And but that's it. Until next time.